Alright, motherfucking selective androgen receptor modulator broccoli haired ass motherfuckers. What is going on? So I'm going to take you guys through a full day of eating of what I consume, okay? To not necessarily bulk and get fat as fuck, to not necessarily cut, but to fuel myself with what I need to progressively train harder and to get stronger. So the first thing that I'm going to be consuming, because it's a very dark early morning here in Las Vegas, Nevada, will be these 250 calories worth of Skittles. Okay, it's 56 grams of carbs. It's a fast digesting carb source before I train. Now, before somebody goes ahead and says, "Oh, you're eating fucking unhealthy, Mark," well, you know what? The majority of my diet is whole and healthy, and you'll see it later on. So let me enjoy my little fucking quick carb digesting fucking Skittles. Okay, so let me do this. All right. So, anyways, I'm about to train some pull. Let's get this going. Full day of eating. Let's go. All right, post-workout, what do I have here? I have 2 scoops, okay, of EcoVision S'mores protein. Okay, it's one of my favorite flavors. They have a lot of great flavors. One of them definitely is the s'mores, the brownie batter, and definitely the white chocolate peanut butter for damn sure, which is up there. Okay, so yeah, 2 scoops going down. Pretty straightforward, self-explanatory. Let's go. All right, okay, so next meal, going down meal. 2 scoops of brownie batter, whey protein from EcoVision. Yes, you will be seeing me eat real food soon later on. Like I said, I have a little bit of a combination of pretty much everything from protein powder to foods with a lot of vegetables to fruits. All these things, okay? I'm not really one like direct, this is exactly what I'm going to do, just bro meals the entire time. There's a little bit of fun and a little bit of variation in there. So yes, 2 scoops of brownie batter. Okay, next meal. Okay, what do we have here? We actually have real food now. Wow, Mark, imagine that. So, what do we have here? We have, okay, egg whites, whole eggs, okay, cauliflower rice, a little bit of fat-free cheese, and we got a pound of strawberries here. So, I personally like cauliflower rice. I mean, I'm not eating it by itself. I am incorporating things like sugar-free condiments, no sugar-added ketchup, that sort of thing. I like the barbecue sauce and the no sugar-added ketchup here. I think it tastes great. So, I have my healthy fats here. I have my protein. I have my fruits, okay? So, I'm getting my micronutrients in, and I'm not just eating fucking candy the whole way through, right? I'm eating my healthy stuff and I'm incorporating my protein shakes in. So I'm going to go ahead and enjoy this in before I do my next meal in about 2.5 hours from now. Okay, let's go. Okay, next meal. All right, so now next meal, what am I going to consume? I'm going to consume a protein bar from the s'mores and a protein bar from the chocolate caramel pecan, however you want to go ahead and pronounce it. But anyways, it is something that I like to incorporate within my diet. I like protein bars. It's something that gives me an adequate amount of protein, and obviously it's not going to be tasting as good as an actual Snickers, but I have a terrible sweet tooth, and for me that does a job for the most part during the week. Now I know somebody's going to go ahead and say, "Oh, Bear Bells is better," but you know what? Hot take, but I like Quest better than Bear Bells. Bite me. Excuse me, I'm sorry. So yes, like I said, incorporating the foods that you like and incorporating foods that are higher in protein within your daily diet is something that's great. And you can absolutely have things like cookies as well, but make sure that you are not going overboard with it, because if you go overboard with that shit, you're going to get fat as fuck. And these sorts of protein bars are great because the macros are great, especially when it comes to fat loss, okay? If fat loss is your goal. And even though I'm not really in a super fat loss phase right now, like I said, I'm not trying to get fat either. I am still making sure that the calories and the macronutrients are great. So 180 calories for 21 grams of protein is damn well good. So when it comes to trying to find a protein bar that is great for fat loss, you got to look at the calories to the protein ratio. So if you see something like 20 grams of protein for 300 plus calories, that's going to be a reasonable amount of protein bars that you'll see out there. Yes, the better it'll taste, but in terms of fat loss, probably not the best idea. So if you see a protein bar that has 20 grams of protein and at least 220 calories and below, then absolutely that's great. The next meal going down. So what do we have here? We have these high protein vegetable wraps. So I'm using low calorie tortillas. I'm using cold cuts. Cold cuts aren't bad for you. You know, I've mentioned it before and I'm going to say it again. Cold cuts are not bad for you. Okay, so I'm using black uncured ham and I'm using normal chicken breast, a shit ton of vegetables. I'm using fat-free cheese. It's great. And I'm also supersetting that with the Ninja Creamy. Okay, so I am using the cinnamon toast ice cream, as you can see up there, EcoVision code mark. Yes, I plugged in, plug in my code. And okay, so basically what I put in this is I use the normal protein powder, I mix it in with water, and I use xanthan gum for the expanding, and what do you call it? 0 calorie sweeteners. It's pretty self-explanatory. So basically I'm just eating a protein shake here. Now this will be the last meal. So I got 7 rice cakes here. Basically, I broke it up into a cereal-like form. So I got this from Nutrition Narc Blake. He gave such a great idea to break up the rice cakes, the Quaker rice cakes, into cereal form. And then what I would do is I would honestly put some no sugar or sugar-free syrup on it. It's amazing. It's great. I like log cabin, the sugar-free log cabin syrup. I put it on this. It tastes amazing, 100%. And I have low-fat popcorn here. So this is Smart Pop popcorn, inspired from Greg Doucette, in which I also got the inspiration for the high-protein vegetable wraps. So this is great. So this is my full day of eating. As you can see, it's not overdone. It's, pretty balanced overall with fun foods, with healthier foods. It's great. So yes, I am not breaking down the macros, the amount of calories, the measurements, because quite oftentimes people will try to follow and, copy the exact protocol, step by step, thinking that they would get the same results. So what I would actually rather you do instead, if you are trying to, copy something more or less, is the food choices, right? The vegetable chicken wraps, the protein bars, the low-fat popcorn, especially for the fact that a lot of people, especially Americans, are just way too fat and would probably benefit from being in a calorie deficit. So using a lot of the foods that I showed in this video would be great when it comes to losing weight and also not hating your life, right? The vegetable chicken wraps, right? The vegetable high-protein wraps, the rice cake cereal, the sugar-free syrups, the protein bars, which are, as I explained, protein to calories ratio. When it comes to building muscle, you don't need to overeat and eat shit tons of extra calories above your maintenance. You need to feed your body enough so you can progressively train harder and recover. What does that mean? The amount of calories is going to be very different from one person to another. One person might only need 2,500. Another person might need 4,000. This is something that is dependent from person to person. In order for you to figure out how many calories you would honestly need to progressively train harder to recover is going to be something that you're going to have to figure out yourself. Now, a way to do this is to go and search up the total daily energy expenditure calculator and put in your stats. It'll give you a set amount of calories, macronutrients that you can go in and follow, and then you stick to that plan and you watch how you do. If you're progressively training harder, if you're not turning into a fat balloon, then you're probably on track. And that is it, okay, for this full day of eating. For me personally, on somebody who's just trying to progressively train harder and not become a fat piece of shit. But stay tuned for the next videos. I'll catch you all later. Don't forget to check out my Linktree for coaching, ebooks, merchandise, all that good stuff. And I will be adding more to this list so I can continue to provide more value for you guys. So have a good one.